In the winter of 1942, amid the smoke and ruins of a city reduced to dust, an army that had conquered much of Europe met a fate it could not escape, and the sound of victory that once followed German troops fell silent along the frozen banks of the Volga. Stalingrad was not just another battlefield. It became a place where ambition collided with reality, and where an entire war began to turn. What started as a strategic push into southern Russia under Hitler's plan to seize oil fields and break Soviet resistance soon narrowed into a brutal struggle for a single city, whose name carried both symbolic and political weight, drawing German forces deeper into an urban nightmare they were never prepared to fight. As the summer of 1942 faded, the German Sixth Army advanced into Stalingrad, street by street, factory by factory, believing superior training and firepower would eventually crush Soviet defenders. Yet the city refused to fall. Soviet commanders turned destruction itself into a weapon, ordering soldiers to hold ground at all costs, sometimes measured in meters, sometimes in the length of a single room. The fighting became intimate and relentless. Snipers hunted from the rubble. Soldiers battled in cellars and stairwells. Entire units were erased in moments, while supply lines stretched thin and casualties mounted on both sides. As winter closed in, the Germans found themselves exhausted and exposed. And it was at this moment that the Red Army launched Operation Uranus. It was a carefully planned counteroffensive. It struck not the strongest German positions inside the city, but the weaker Allied forces guarding the flanks, encircling the Sixth Army in a vast steel trap. Surrounded, freezing, and running out of food and ammunition, German commanders pleaded for permission to break out. Hitler refused. He was convinced that air supply and sheer will could hold the line. That decision sealed the army's fate. Soviet artillery tightened the ring. Starvation and disease spread through the encircled troops. By early 1943, hope had vanished. On February 2nd, the remnants of the Sixth Army surrendered, marking the first complete destruction of a German field army in the war, and sending shockwaves through both sides of the conflict. The consequences were immediate and profound. Germany lost hundreds of thousands of experienced soldiers and irreplaceable equipment. The myth of German invincibility was shattered. The Soviet Union gained renewed confidence and momentum, driving its forces steadily westward. Stalingrad proved that the tide of war could be reversed through resilience, sacrifice, and strategic patience. And from its ashes emerged a new reality, one in which the balance of power shifted decisively, setting the stage for the long and devastating road that would ultimately lead to Berlin and reshape the world forever.